Assalamu alaikum and peace. You know who it is, Bilal, Mujahid, back at you again, a black Muslim in America. Thank you for tuning back in. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to share this. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You know what to do. Thank you for tuning back in. And today, I just want to talk about niggas, man. It's a part of our community that really has a major problem with taking responsibility, with taking accountability, with being responsible. And that's got to stop. We're getting on code, and that's a good thing, but we gonna have to step that up. I'm tired of seeing it. As you all know, just recently, Sha'Carri Richardson, shout out to her. She was doing her thing. She was about to be in the Olympics. She still may be in certain races within the Olympics. I don't know. But recently it came out that they did some drug tests on her, and she had marijuana in her system. And what I do respect about her is that she actually took responsibility. Unlike many people in our community who don't take responsibility, want to blame it on others to save face, want to blame circumstances, want to make weak excuses. I hate when people make weak, lame excuses. Always trying to save face. Stop it. Just say you messed up. And that's what I respect about Sha'Carri Richardson. She actually said she messed up, And I respect that. She apologized. She took full responsibility. And hopefully she can represent us better next time. And that's what I appreciate. And I can't give her nothing but props for that. But at the same time, we have to be honest, people. At the same time, you knew what the deal was. So obviously you really didn't want to go to the Olympics. You knew what it was. Maybe you thought you could beat the test somehow. This ain't no test trying to get a job at somewhere. You could probably beat those tests. This is a damn one of those Olympic people, and you know that they be on anti-blackness as well. Very anti-black the Olympics are. You know what it is with them, so I don't know what made you think you was gonna beat the system and beat the test. But come on now. I understand your mother died, and that's hard to deal with. That's hard to cope with. And maybe you needed to smoke a blunt to get through with it. But at the same time, you knew what was coming up. You knew the Olympics was coming up. All you had to do was be like, look, my mom died. I'm going to smoke this last blunt so I can get it out my system before the test comes. That's what you could have did. And people talking about it. She trying to make it seem like she's a chiefer. I know chiefers. I used to be a chiefer. She's a chiefer. You can look at her and look at her attire and tell that she's a chiefer. And she hang around some chiefers. So this isn't the first time. Like she trying to make it seem like my mom died and I needed to cope, so I smoked some weed. Nah. She down in Louisiana. I think Louisiana got medicinal legalization down there. So she been chiefing. And this is a problem within our black community as well. The weed. People have this infatuation and just lust for weed that they do not want to give it up for nothing. I used to have a homie and I cut him off because I can't hang around people like that, man. I used to have a homie who was so addicted to weed. He could have a good job and he would lose it because he get caught up with weed. This dude, he would carry around a fake penis with fake urine filled in it all the time to work. Just in case he had to get tested. I'm like, dog, why don't you just quit smoking while you working here? Or why don't you just not smoke so damn much, and when you get like a vacation, then that's when you chief. Or when you get some days off, you might chief a blunt, you know, and then rinse it out your system as quickly as possible. But why are you going through all of this just so you could smoke pounds and ounces every single day? That's ridiculous. That's just a coping mechanism. You can't escape your issues with drugs. You can't. You can't escape your issues with food. You know, some people is addicted to food and they use food as a drug to get high to escape their problems. Just like a weed head uses weed as a high to escape their problems. It's only a temporary escape. Once you come down from that high and you come back to reality, you still got to deal with the problems that's in your life. You still got to deal with white supremacy. You still got to deal with that your mom has died. So you might as well just not get high. And that's what I had to realize. Like, this is just a waste of my time and money and health. Now, that's what's amazing about Sha'Carri Richardson. She's beating world records being a chiefer. Just think if she didn't even smoke at all. She would be killing boys. She was supposed to go to the Olympics and represent for her mom. That's how she was supposed to handle that. Represent for your mom in the Olympics and make her proud when you beating all the whole world on a world stage. Representing for not only your mom, not only your family, but for the black family and for just the America. Because we foundational black Americans, so representing for America as well. Come on. And you know, that was her mistake, and like I said, I respect her for taking full responsibility for it. But that just sucks. You could have really represented. But they're saying she might be able to do some other races. She just won't be able to do the 100-meter relay. But you know, hopefully she could do some other races. That'd be tight. But the thing is, people on Twitter and on the internet and social media, they getting mad because she failed the drug test, and they're the ones. She took responsibility, but niggas on the internet and on Twitter talking about trying to make excuses. Man, that rule shouldn't even apply anyway. It's just weed. It don't help you. It don't enhance your physical ability. So what? You complaining because you don't want to give up your weed because you're addicted to it. You complaining about some rule is not going to change the rule. They just going to keep suspending you from the Olympics. They don't care. Okay, you want to... What are you going to do? You going to smoke as a protest? We're going to chief it up as a protest. And then what? There ain't going to be no people in the Olympics then. If all the black people start chiefing as a protest to the Olympics, then there ain't going to be no black people in the Olympics. They're like, thank you. We found a way to be anti-black and make an excuse for it. We know that the Olympics is anti-black. We know that the world is anti-black. We know about white supremacy. This is something you chose to be a part of. See, certain things you can break the rules of. When you're living in the system of white supremacy, you didn't choose to be a part of white supremacy. That stuff was forced on you. A foundational black American, slavery was forced on his lineage, on his people. So he didn't choose to be a part of that system. So he gonna have to break some rules here and there, while at the same time fighting for unjust rules to be changed. Fighting for unjust laws to be changed. That's what he gonna have to do. He or she gonna have to do. Some of them rules ain't gonna have to be bent and broken. It just is what it is, because you didn't ask to be a part of this wrong system that treats you wrong and unjust just because you're a certain color. But also understanding that we're part of this white supremacy system, you also know that, okay, there's the Olympics. You know the Olympics is anti-black, but you're choosing to participate in the Olympics. The Olympics isn't being forced upon you. You're choosing to be a part of this system right here. And you know what the rules are. You know that the Olympics are ultra conservative. They don't like none of that weed smoke. So you should know what to do. Get your mind right and get up off the weed. You know they're going to test you hard body. There's no other way around it. Now, what you can do is maybe you could try to fight it in some way. But while you're trying to fight it, you still need to be playing by the rules so that you can show that even when y'all doing these rules that I believe are bullcrap, if you believe they're bullcrap, even while y'all doing these bullcrap rules, I can still come in and dominate. And that's what we as black people have constantly and consistently shown throughout our entire existence. That even when you got these white supremacist laws and rules that try to hold us back, we still come in and dominate. Even when we play by your bullcrap rules, we still come in and dominate. That's what should be shown. I understand the anti-blackness because, you know, they recently came out with some type of ban on the swimming caps that, you know, black women wore or are wearing, and saying, well, you can't wear these. And they're calling them the soul caps, and they're saying they can't wear them because they don't fit formally to the heads of the women who are swimming in them, and they're trying to be slick and saying, well, we're not banning black people from wearing them, but that's really who it's targeted at. So, we see the anti-blackness of it, but at the same time, what was y'all doing before these soul caps came out? My black women, my black people swimming. What was y'all doing? Y'all was abiding by the rules. You would either cut your hair to a certain length so the cap could fit on, or do a certain hairstyle to where the cap could fit on. And because you want to play and you want to play on the world stage. You have to go in by their rules while you're fighting to change the rules. So hopefully they will change the rules because they claim the International Swimming Federation is claiming that they're going to review it, but yeah, we'll see. But at the same time, keep fighting for that while putting on the original stuff that you was already using and dominate. Go in there and dominate, and then when you dominate and you stand on that first place spot with your gold medal, you make a comment about them soul caps. You make a comment about how this stuff is being anti-black and we want our soul cap, and I still dominated without it. That's what you do. And people need to stop making up excuses. Like I said about Sha'Carri Richardson, you got people on the internet saying all that bull crap about you should be able to smoke weed. That's weed head niggas saying that. Smoke weed every day. They want to smoke weed every day and then still have society bend to their will. It's not going to work like that. And what you notice is they want to get niggas stuck on weed. They want to get black folks stuck on weed. So you could be a zombie walking around and not accomplishing stuff with your life. And then I heard somebody on Twitter talk about what people don't know is hella mad athletes be smoking weed. Almost all athletes smoke a lot of weed. Okay, and that make it good. That make it proper. So they need to just let us smoke our weed because everybody's smoking it. They're not about to change their rules because everybody's smoking it. Stop it. Just think about it. You got people, it's even white people who are fighting for you, the black people, to be able to smoke your weed. They fine with you. Why is the dominant society fighting for you to smoke your weed? They fine with you smoking your weed. Think about that. Why? Because they want you to be a loser. They want you to be stuck on drugs so they can continue to dominate. So they can continue to make up rulings in their Olympics and other sports. So that way, if you get caught with weed in your system, they can ban you so you can't come in and dominate. They can still dominate. But moving along. It was another lady. It was another lady, and I'm about to get in trouble for this because it's about to be ugly. Y'all gonna be mad at me for this. Some of y'all gonna unsubscribe for this. So be it. But I'm making it clear to you right now. I love my black people. I love my black Muslims. I love my Muslims worldwide. Thank you for tuning in, but I gotta keep it one thorough. So, another Olympian, Brianna McNeil, she has been, I think, suspended for like 5 years. And the court upheld her 5-year suspension. And She claims, and the reason she got suspended is because she wasn't taking her drug test, her doping test. And she claims, well, the reason I didn't answer the door when they came to give me my doping test is because I was going through the traumatizing effects of an abortion. Now look, maybe something was wrong with the child, and so you saw that and you was like, damn, I need to get an abortion. You know, maybe something was very wrong with the child and you didn't want to have to deal with that. It is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Maybe you saw that and decided, no, we don't want to deal with that, and terminated the pregnancy. Depending on, you know, when you did that, it could be bad, or depending on when you did it, it could be something that you just took out a piece of flesh. You didn't kill anything, you took out a piece of flesh. If you have a termination of the pregnancy before the breath of life is blown into the body of the baby, then you just took out a piece of flesh. You didn't kill anything. Now, if you go and terminate the pregnancy after the breath of life has been given to that child, then now you have committed a killing of an innocent life, and you may have to answer for that on the day of judgment. So I don't know when this happened, and maybe she saw some things going on in the womb that she didn't like and was scared about her child or her own personal safety. Okay. But at the same time, here we go. At the same time, you're married. Okay, you're married. So was this a planned pregnancy or was it not a planned pregnancy? Now, if you're just aborting a child because it was planned, I gotta be in the Olympics. I gotta be in the Olympics. I can't be doing this. I ain't got time for this. No, that's wrong. I could kind of see if you thought the child may have had some health issues that would be so major that you wouldn't want to deal with it for a lifetime. I could kind of see that. But if you and your husband just had a child and now you feel inconvenienced by it, no, that's not good. No, we're not. That's not cool. I got to get to the Olympics. So that's a sign of irresponsibility. That's what that's a sign of. If you're a married woman having an abortion, unless it's for, like I said before, unless it's for you seeing some type of major medical issue going on with the baby in the womb, or something's going to happen to where it may affect your health and life as you're giving birth, or something to that effect, then there's no reason to be getting an abortion. Unless you got raped by somebody outside of your marriage and you terminating the pregnancy, okay. But you have a husband, you're married, whether the pregnancy was planned or unplanned, this is what you got to live with now. It ain't no inconvenienced. And that's a sign of irresponsibility. And you're going to say, damn, Bilal, that's messed up. No, because there's other signs of her being irresponsible. Because that wasn't the first time. And see, that's what they do. That wasn't the first time. So you think it's just because, well, it was just one time. No, this is a habit of hers. And she threw the abortion out there to get the sympathy from the public, especially from those single moms out there who just run through abortions. I remember I knew a chick who had about 3-4 abortions. And she just living life like ain't nothing wrong. That's what she was trying to get sympathy from. Women like that. Single women, single mothers and chicks out there who've been getting run through and letting all kind of men lay up on top of them and ejaculate in them. And then they go run to the clinic and get an abortion. It's just a sport to them. That's what she was trying to get sympathy from the ratchet culture of Black America. She was trying to get that sympathy because, oh, I got to hide that I'm just irresponsible. Oh, I'm wrong for saying that. Am I wrong for saying that? But let's go into this. She got this 5-year suspension because it was followed. If the 5-year suspension followed a year-long ban McNeil received 4 years ago for missing 3 tests in a year. In that case, this is the excuses she made. When she missed those 3 tests in a 12-month period, she said, well, I forgot 2 times to update my whereabouts in the system that tracks athletes for random testing, so you forgot. Even though you know you're an Olympic athlete and you know you got to get tested, you forgot twice. Think about that. That's irresponsible. So it shows that this pregnancy and this abortion was from irresponsibility. Well, it gives a sign to that. It gives a strong sign to that. This pregnancy and abortion was something totally irresponsible. On the third occasion, she said she made a mistake entering the time when she would be available. Another irresponsible mistake. So this is the fourth time. She already had 3 times. This is the fourth time she doesn't show irresponsibility. But I'm not supposed to say that? And this is what I mean with us, man. And I'm not trying to be on no coon stuff, on no, we are our own worst enemy. I'm not trying to be on all of that stuff because we know the system of white supremacy is real and attacks us. There's no, way around that. But baby, you're supposed to be an Olympic athlete. You know what comes with that. Again, this is what I mean. You know what comes with that. But you're being irresponsible. And you have strike after strike after strike after strike against you. And this last strike, you're trying to gain sympathy from it so that the whole world can be on your side. I really can't be on your side when you had that many times to get it right and you didn't. That shows a character of irresponsibility. And this is what I'm talking about today. Do we have a problem with responsibility within the black community? Do we have a problem with standards? Do we have a problem with being accountable? This is what we have to correct within our community. Moving along. I know y'all recently also saw that the Turkey Leg Hut, stepped up its dress code and things of that nature and standards. Once again, you got black people on Twitter and social media trying to drag them because we are demanding that our standards be stepped up. And this is what I'm talking about. Do we have a problem with this? If it's that certain ratchet community that has a problem with it, then it's always going to be there. It's always going to be that ratchet portion of our community who is always going to just not have standards and not really care about what's going on. So we need to make that as minimal as possible. We need to make that not be the representation of black people. We need to shut them down and be loud against them to say, no, these ratchet community over here, these dusty Negroes are not the representation of black people in America. So recently, the Turkey Leg Hut stepped up their dress code rules. Some of the rules include no excessively revealing clothing, including distressed or ripped clothing that is revealing, and shorts must cover your entire bottom. No house attire that includes wave caps, do-rags, house shoes, or shower caps. That's for you bonnet broads out there. No exposed undergarments, including sports bras, panties, or any other garments resembling these items. No obscene language or baggy clothing. No inappropriate graphics or language. No excessively baggy, saggy pants. I don't know why you Negroes still doing that. We're in 2021. And no swimwear of any kind is allowed. And niggas is mad at this. You got people posting up pictures on Twitter of the place and saying, this is the place that makes us want to dress right and have our standards. It's a Turkey Leg Hut. So you got black people insulting the business just because they're mad that they have to have standards to go there. But you won't see them doing that to no white establishment. You won't see them do that to anyone. When a white establishment says you got to wear a certain type of attire to get in here, they going to comply and not say a damn thing. They going to comply and not bat an eye. But as soon as a Negro want to step up his standards, black folk feel like, we shouldn't have to have standards with other black people. We should only have to have standards with massa. How dare you try to make us step up our standards? We only have standards for massa, not you, Negro, not you other niggas. You remember the same thing happened when the one brother had his restaurant and chicks was in there twerking in the restaurant, hands all on the glasses and mirrors, and he told them, look, this ain't the place for that. We're not here for that. And they tried to drag him and get mad at him, and he held his ground, which I respect. And Turkey Leg Hut is here holding their ground, which I respect. Turkey Leg Hut said, look, we are not a club. We are a family-friendly restaurant and will continue to maintain our standards. And I respect that. And the good thing about it is, after they did, you know, these dress code rules, they're still getting hella business, and that's a good thing. It shows that we are getting on code, and it shows that, you know, we're on point. We just have to deal with that ratchet community to the point to where they've become so minuscule, and that to the point to where they can't even be used as a representation for black society, because we're so on code and calling them out that their little rock throwing is just pebbles to us. That's how it has to become with those who are in intelligent black society. But this is what we have to do if we want to become, and this is a good thing, we're getting more on code. You even have recently, it was like on Twitter, a picture of Monique, the comedian. She was out in the streets talking to people, talking to other females, and talking to them about they bonnets that they wearing, and joking with them, and, you know, trying to correct them. I respect that. This is the proof of us getting on code very strongly, and that's a good sign for us. That is a very good sign for us. So you're going to have these dusty Negroes. You're going to have the ratchet community trying to push back hard against that. And we have to push back even harder and be on code even harder. You know, if you want to be the only way you're going to have success in this life or the next is being responsible, is taking accountability. Even in Islam, if you want to repent of your sins, the first part of repenting for your sins is that you have to admit them and feel shame for them. And then after you admit them and you be totally honest with Allah about them and you ask forgiveness for them, then you change your actions. You make a firm intention to change your actions, and you go about changing your actions. That's what leads to success in this life and the next. It's the same way. Like I said, I respect Sha'Carri Richardson. She came out and said, look, I messed up and I'm going to get it next time. She said, this is the last time you're going to hear about this with me, and I'm going to get it next time. And I believe her. She was very forthcoming and forthright, and I respect that. That's how we got to be. If you mess up, get back on the horse and keep going. But we not about to accept this in our community no more. We're not about to accept this in our community no more of irresponsibility, of lack of standards, and having a problem when other black people want to have standards, or making excuses for not completing a task, making excuses for why you didn't comply to something that you chose to be a part of. We're not going to do that no more. But that's all I wanted to talk about, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. This is Bilal, Mujahid of Black Muslim in America. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, assalamu alaikum and peace.